Lab number 36. In this lab, we will continue development of our technical maintenance assistant application, and right now we will focus on modifying details page, and actually we will focus directly on moving data from main controller to details controller, because we will need to operate with the same task item. And basically we can do it in a pretty smart way. So we can use different states IDs inside our state provider. So for example, instead of going to some kind of URL like details, we can actually go to URL like this. So let it be name, and then we will be able to specify some kind of ID, for example 1 2 3 5. Almost the same can work for actually don't agree. So we can do something like main, then our ID, and then it can be don't agree. And actually this ID can be reused. So by providing this ID, we can grab this data back in our details page and somehow correlate it with our IDs in our item list. So as you remember, we should save this. As you remember, in our item list inside services, we have the IDs like 1 2 3 4 5 and those, and we should have the same actually if we will go to details of each page. So let's preview how it is working. For example, we are getting here. Right now it's not working because we didn't change the link, so we should do that. So let's do the following. Let's go back to our main page, to our list, and instead of going to details, let's go to main and then specific ID, item ID. So just like this. So now, as you can see, we are going to the page with this ID. So for example, number 10 or number 5 or number 2, and then when we are getting inside our details page, inside our next controller, actually we need to grab that ID, and it's pretty simple to do. So right here we actually need to include state params dependencies, just like this, and then to use state params ID. So let's try to log it. Something like this, and then let's grab state params ID. Let's check if that will work. So yeah, current page is second one. Let's change it, 11. Yeah, so it's working. Basically right now we need to grab our data from data service, but instead of getting all the products, we can just create a specific function that will return us only product with this ID, I mean only task with this ID. And yeah, let's better rename to tasks, it will be easier. And the same in services. Just like this. So now instead of having this get task, we need to create something new. Let's, for example, call this something like get task by ID, and then inside we will have pass parameter like current item ID. Let it be something like this. So inside this we should call actually this service like get tasks, and then we should return specific item. So let's implement some kind of filter, like filter filter. This is default one. We just need to include it in dependencies. Yep, and basically inside we will need to pass our items and sort it somehow. So let's name this items, and let's sort it this way by ID. That will be equal to this current item ID, and like this. So basically what we are missing here, we are missing the items, because the same way as we did it here, we need to specify whether we need to return English or Russian items. And actually when we are calling this get tasks, we need to provide the language. So let's include language as a second parameter here after ID. So just the same way as we did it before. And let's also do the same in our controller. So when we will be calling that, we will be calling instead of this items, something like that task. So data service get task by ID, and we will pass inside this state param ID together with current language. Just like this. So now let's save this and go back to our services. So basically we should do a filtering and return all the items, but because those will be named either in items or root items, and inside filter we're using items, we need to define which items to use. So let's do it the following way. Scope items, just like this, and then we will do the same. And instead of scope, it's better to use this. Because we are in a service. Just like this. So let's save this and try to check how it's working. So let's go back to our main page. Yep, it's not working. Let's check what is wrong. Yeah, translate is not defined because we forgot to include it as a dependency here in our details controller, and we use it to determine what kind of language we are now have, and we need to do that. Translate. So let's go back to our main page. It's not working. Data service is not defined. Let's check. Yep, data service also not included. So data service. What else? Items is not defined. Okay, let's check our service. Yep. So it should be this items. And now it is working. Excellent. So now actually we are seeing everything that is related to a specific item. Let's check it once again. Let's go to main. and then, for example, to this repair wheel set. So we have some kind of demo data. We need to replace it inside details with our responsible data. So let's do it with item title from the beginning, item name, correct one is name. And let's check if it's working. Yeah, so it's working. And now we just the same way need to replace everything else. So instead of this depot random number, we should have item depot, and instead of station, we should have item station. So here we should have item type. Let's do type together with number. Just like this, and creation date, it's C date. Just like this. Then we will have description. Just like this, and let's check how it's looking like. Yeah, so basically it is working. We have depot number, type, no description available, but this is how it looks. So the thing that is missing is actually on the top, type and number. We should specify not just by text, but just provide type and number. So let's do that. Item type, and also number. So just like this. Yeah, now our description page is fully complete, and basically we can do the same for details page fully complete. We can now do the same for do not agree page. So let's go there and actually replace text there. The link is not working. We should fix it the same way. So in details page, our link should look like this. Yep. And now here we should basically have the same things. So instead of task title, we should have item name. Instead of task description, we should have item description. And basically that's all. Yep, right now it's in Russian, and we also need to change the same on top. I will just reuse it from details page. I'm in the title. Just like this. Yeah, so let's go to our main page, login and check how this works together. So English language, we are going to demo. We are seeing the items, for example, installing roller bearing. We are seeing detail for this, and we can actually decline this task and see again those details, and we can go back. The issue is that when we are clicking actually decline and specifying a reason and clicking OK, we should have less tasks in the list left, so we should remove this task somehow from the list, and let's do that. And the easiest option to do it will be actually using something called slice. So this is one of the standard things that we can do with scope. So we will do it inside our controller, and in order to be it more or less universal, I mean to do it quickly and do not focus on services again, we can just do the following. Instead of assigning our items on the main page to scope, we can use them within the root scope. And then this root scope can be operated elsewhere, I mean in other controller. So let's do like this. And then inside our details controller, when we will click on OK button, let's do the following. Let's do some action. Like instead of just navigation, we will do ng click. And let's call this remove item. So basically, when we are inside our details controller and click on that button, we are going to our new function that we will need to create. So it's remove item. And basically inside we will do the following. We will operate with root scope, and we should include it here. As a dependency. And the same should be done in the main controller, so we already did that. So now we will operate with this root scope items, and we'll do splice, and we'll do it with root scope items, something like index of, and then specifying the specific item that we are now working with. And we will remove, of course, only one item, only this one. So basically this will mean that we will look through the list of items and remove the current item that we are working inside details controller. Actually it should work, so let's try. Let's go inside, for example, with English language. Let's go inside. I need to refresh the page. Okay, the first one. Repairing brake lever transmission, decline, specifying the reason. Okay, and it's not working. Let's check what is wrong. Yeah, it's just not working. Remove item. Let's check. Remove item. The trick is that we didn't do the navigation, so we should actually change the state. Like state go the same way as we did it in our first controller, login controller, and then specify the name of the state. It will be again main. And we also need to add a dependency. Like here we did with the state, so here we should do the same. Just like this. And let's reload it from the beginning. So English language, demo mode, first one. We are declining the task. We're specifying the reason, clicking OK. Yeah, we see that now there is one task removed, and basically let's try one more. Repairing wheel sets, decline the task, clicking OK. Yeah, one more task removed. But the trick is that actually we can decline without specifying the reason for decline. So if I'm not entering anything and clicking OK, it's also working. So we should add some kind of simple check here. So let's go to our don't agree page, and basically we can do almost the same as we did here with ngIf equals to reason code 4 for hiding the elements. We can hide this button just like this. If it will not equal to null, then it will work, otherwise it won't. So let's check. Yeah, so we are now seeing on the back button, but if we will select something, then this button will appear, just like that. And actually we should do almost the same for accept button. So if we click accept, we also should launch this the same command, but for now it will be the same. Of course it will change in the future, so in order to prepare to that, let's just create a new function, something like accept task, and it will be something like this. Instead of just going to main, we will use ng click. Accept task, and then inside our controller we will do for now the same. So just like this, let's try this from the main page. So demo mode, accept task, yeah, one less, accept task, one less, excellent. Let's try to remove it. If we will go back, nothing will happen. So let's decline within the reason. Okay, and yeah. So basically we achieved what we wanted to achieve. On this step, our lab is finished. Thank you.